Back at it again, and we've got one here with Charlie Kirk. It's been a while since we checked out something with Charlie Kirk, so yeah, like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's dive in.
You're a guy that loves to look at things realistically and deeply with optimism. And for 30 years, I have struggled with what I've seen with the destruction of our American economy by mostly the Democrats. And
The Democrats, I like that.
this thing you mentioned earlier about our dollar value freaked me out when I saw Brazil, South Africa, these other nations
That's right.
go away from using our
BRICS.
dollar. I'm much more worried about the digital currency thing. I'm thankful DeSantis, at least in his state's doing the right thing there.
Yes.
However,
Question really quick.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the
We're
question
low on
is,
time.
what do you think about this thought that this might be backfiring for our American dollar and it might be hurting these other countries more than us that are stepping away from it?
Yeah, potentially. We don't know how this is going to end, but I believe this is an intentional sabotage campaign by the Great Reset crowd to end the dollar as the world reserve currency, and that will impoverish every single person in this room in a way I cannot put into words.
Interesting. Listen, I don't know that with 100% certainty, but I kind of feel that same way. And, you know, I've said that in previous videos, but I'm going to let him finish and see what else he has to say.
Currency, and that will impoverish every single person in this room in a way I cannot put into words. You will have
Allegedly.
25% inflation overnight because all of a sudden all the dollars will become flooding home and they'll say, oh, we don't need these dollars as our reserve. We're going to send them back to America. You will have 25% inflation overnight. You think inflation is bad now? Wait all of a sudden until every industrialized country sends back the dollars they have as the reserve, as the barter, as the ability to be able to do transactions. I think they want that. I think they're trying to break the currency. This is where I am honest and I'm realistic. The only thing you can do is prepare. This is out of your control. Congress is a waste of time. They're a bunch of gutless wonders on this topic. They're afraid of the Federal Reserve. They're afraid of the Treasury Department. Charlie, what does that mean? I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I own a lot of metallics. Yeah, I do own Bitcoin. Yeah, I do. I got it. I was getting there.
Somebody wants to give you some advice.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I own things that I think are outside of the traditional banking system, cryptocurrency. I said this at a church recently, and the place, you know, the media wrote it up.
All right, before he gets too deep into it, I guess let's touch on what he was talking about earlier and the possible intentional destruction of the U.S. dollar, and at large the U.S. And I've spoken about this before, so to hear somebody else echo that is a bit. It's kind of refreshing in a way, you know, a little bit, because it's like, Rich, you're not completely crazy, you know. It's just one of those things, but obviously that's not a good thing for obvious reasons. But it just feels that way, and I'll say it again, and I know I said it in a recent video, but it feels as if the powers at be, the alleged powers at be, and like I said, it feels this way. I don't have any, you know, solid proof of this. All right. This is just my feeling, my personal opinion. It feels as if there is a push to create another, you know, United States or another dominant global power. You know, it just feels that way. Or to have all nations on the same level. And in order for that to happen, the U.S. has to be destroyed. And how do you do that? Well, they are the reserve currency. That's one of the ways, that's one of the steps in order to destroy the U.S., right? So we have BRICS, Brazil, Russia, I think it's India, China, and South Africa. I believe that's what BRICS represents. I believe Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I think. I could be wrong on one of those. But and you also have other nations that are applying. I even heard Germany. Now, I don't know if that's correct. I could be wrong on that. So fact check me on that if I'm incorrect. I could be mistaken, which is kind of strange, you know. Wait, I thought you were on our side, kind of thing. Why are they trying to join that? So you destroy the U.S. dollar, right? Get everybody off the US dollar, done with it, throw it to the wind, or send it back to the US, create crazy inflation. You heard Charlie Kirk touch on that. But on top of that, you create turmoil within the US. Have you guys noticed that whenever there is, a time of peace in this country, so to speak, something always comes up. Like something else always slaps us in the face. There's some other crisis that slaps us in the face that's dividing us all over again. Have y'all felt that same way? Am I the only one? Maybe I am. Y'all let me know in the comment section, but I feel like there's always something that, slaps us in the face that divides the nation all over again. As we've come together and we're holding hands, there's something that breaks the hands apart, right? So you create division, you create destruction, but you have to do it from within. No nation outside of our borders can destroy this nation, can destroy this great experiment called the United States. It has to be destroyed from within. Things outside can't touch it. Because if something comes from outside, if a danger from outside comes, one will destroy it, and two, we come back together. It's a uniting thing. We come together. 9/11, the country came together in that situation or circumstance, regardless of what you believe about it now. But the country came together in that moment, in that time, and we all held hands in lockstep. And to have another nation do that all over again would be destructive to the alleged agenda, because now the nation is whole again. So it has to be destroyed from within. But that's just my humble opinion. Y'all can let me know if I'm cuckoo, if I've gone bat poop crazy. All right, I'm gonna keep it a little PG here. I'm not gonna say the S word. Y'all let me know. Talk to me, please. Charlie Kirk, take it away, brother.
I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I own a lot of metallics. I do own Bitcoin. Yeah, I do. I got it. I was getting there. So
Somebody wants to give you some advice.
yeah, no, that's fine. I own things that I think are outside of the traditional banking system, cryptocurrency. I said this at a church recently, and the place, the media wrote it up. I invest in bullets because they appreciate in value. They're always good, and you could always. That's not a joke, by the way. They go up in value. You want to know? You bought a lot of bullets 10 years ago. They're like 10 times more valuable than they were 10 years ago. But real estate and land will always have value. So I encourage you guys to hold on to your real estate if it's possible. I'm not an investment guy, but you just have to prepare. Find people smarter than me, because
Yeah, obviously that's not investment advice. That's just what he is doing. All right, that's just what he's doing. I don't see it as bad advice though, personally. Y'all can let me know how are you guys preparing for the potential of something catastrophic happening. How are you guys preparing? Let me know in the comment section. Honestly, I'm thinking about hitting some folks up and pulling our money together to build a bunker somewhere. Honestly, I'm so serious. All right. Allegedly, these elites have, bunkers that are deep underground. What's the there's an alleged bunker under like some airport or something. I think that was allegedly. I don't know that for sure, but it's alleged that there is one under an airport. There's one like in a mountain somewhere. Like I mean like alleged big ones, like huge ones, not just like little, in the middle of the woods kind of bunkers or in your backyard kind of bunker where you might put a couple what do you call them? Big crates. What's the word for those darn things? That the trains carry all the time. Deep underground in your backyard. No, I mean like legit bunkers that you can drive semi trucks into. So if they have some, hey, I'm gonna get something. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know. How are you preparing, or are you preparing, or are you just like, hey, what happens, happens. It's in God's hands. Let me know. Talk to me.
this system collapses, don't be taken by surprise. right? And I'm afraid I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to alarm you. I am realistic. You are correct. I always tell you the truth. We are within the 50 to 60% chance that they intentionally obliterate the dollar as the world reserve currency in the next 18 months. It's easier said than done. There's a backstop against it, but it's within striking distance, and that would make the Great Reset possible. And I'm afraid that's what they want.
Allegedly, of course. I got to put allegedly for, YouTube purposes, but yeah, he said a 50 to 60. If I personally had to put a number on it, I might go slightly under that. Maybe like a 40, 45. Because he alluded to it there at the end. If you heard him, he even said that
but it's within striking distance. It's easier said than done. There's a backstop against it, but
easier said than done. And I believe that 100%. I believe it's going to be HE double hockey sticks, easier said than done. A whole lot easier said. For a number of reasons. Obviously, one of those is we're on our toes. Folks like you and I, we're looking, okay? We're aware of the potential of impending doom. So they can't do something that's way, way too obvious to too many people, because if they alarm, their own base, then it's over. You know what I mean? Allegedly. If this is actually happening, if they alarm their own base, then the jig is up. I mean, it's completely done. So, it's a whole lot easier said than done, and it has to be done in a strategic way, so that it doesn't alarm a good portion of the population. They're not privy to it. They're not onto it in any type of way until it's too late. And yeah, this whole CBDC thing, I don't know. Is it reversible? If Uncle Trump wins in 24, can he destroy it? And I see some people, not many, if I had to put a number on it, 3%. 3% of folks are, kind of throwing their hands up, for the 24 election. And for those folks, I'll say this, right? Maybe you're right. But also, maybe you're wrong. And I think it's important that we explore both sides of that equation, right? And if we're only leaning towards one side of the equation of, oh, it's just over, then of course it's going to be over. Of course it's going to be over. If you're just throwing your hands, nope, give up, quit. Well, of course you're going to lose no matter what. If you quit, duh. My thing is, we could still try. Uncle Trump is still putting his neck out on the line. So when I see, that 2 or 3% of folks that, are throwing their hands up in the air, we lost, it's over, they're going to destroy the U.S., blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Those kind of rants. I honestly get disgusted with it. I hate quitters. Quitting disgusts me. You know what I mean? That just doesn't even register. What good comes out of quitting? You know what I mean? Like what good is going to come out of just giving up? There's nothing. Literally nothing. Nothing. At least stand up and try. Try. All right? Do your part. If you're afraid of, something happening, make sure volunteer to work at some locations, some of these, I'm trying to keep it PG. Volunteer to work at, a polling place. All right? Volunteer. You can see what's going on. You know what I mean? For the few folks, that, there's only so much I can say. And then on top of that, do the buddy system. I heard, who was that? Patrick Bet David, I believe that's who it was talking about, hey, come 24, when it's time for all of us to do our part, use the buddy system. Don't go alone. Make sure you take somebody with you. Make sure you take somebody with you. Go door to door, knock on doors, do your part, but quitting does nothing. The way that I see it, like I said, Uncle Trump is putting his neck on the line. I think if he felt that there was no shot, why would he do it? You know what I mean? He's a billionaire, rich out the wazoo. He's got money, he's got connections. Everybody knows him. People used to love him until he ran as a Republican. They'll go back to loving him again if he just said, you know what, I quit. But he said, no, I'm running again, and I'm actually going to win this time. So why, I don't know. I just had to touch on that since we were kind of on the topic of, things not going the right way. So, yeah. Y'all let me know how you felt about all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.